first elected Prime Minister, Patrice Lumumba, once said, "We are not alone. Africa, Asia, and free and liberated people from every corner of the world will always be at the side of the Congolese."
The relevance of this conference to us is that we have studied issues affecting Africa as a whole and Congo as a country, and Congo is very important to Africa, and we feel that Congo has not achieved its potential as a country, and we do not put the blame to the Congolese. It's because of political factors that come into play in the Congo. We have too many interested parties. We have the elite in Congo who want to control the resources in that country for their own benefit. We have foreigners who also want to take advantage of the situation in Congo so that they also gain from the vast resources in that country. And therefore, we feel that this issue has been ignored for a very long time, and it is time for people to come out and speak about it so that we come to the rescue of Congo as a country, and so that we can all benefit from the resources that are in Congo.
Good afternoon. Well, my name is Serge Kalume, third-year IBA student, and I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo. It's a great honor and a privilege for me to be here, standing in front of you today, for the noble cause that we are all gathering for here today. Unfortunately, it's on a sad note. Otherwise, I would have performed some dances and steps for you here. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Well, we are here gathered, as you're all aware, for the Congo tragedy, the conflict, and we are here mainly to start taking action toward it. And the first action that is we are taking is entitled Breaking the Silence. Are you ready to break the silence? Are you ready to break the silence? Yes. Fine. Thank you very much.
There is no state government in Congo. Therefore, other countries have taken this as an advantage to exploit it. About 45,000 people die in Congo each month.
On behalf of the IR program fraternity and on behalf of the university as a whole, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome all our guests to USIU. I would like to say a few things with regard to the Congo and our students at USIU. Our students in the program of international relations have been prepared to think critically about issues emanating from local and international affairs. Indeed, we have designed courses that prepare our students towards that end, and such courses are like the regional conflicts in Africa and area studies. Within these particular courses, we have prepared our students theoretically. We have given them the theoretical framework, which are the tools that they would use to understand what is going on in the world. I am so privileged to note that our students, on their own initiative, started an organization called National Model African Union. And within this particular organization, the students get together to try to practice what they learn theoretically in their classes. And therefore, today is a very important day for me as a coordinator of international relations, and also it is very important for me to know that our students are actually putting into practice what they learn. There are about two theoretical approaches to war that we have prepared our students in. The first one is the nature approach, which basically speaks about the state of nature. And we, in this particular approach, we look at Thomas Hobbes' theoretical underpinning. Is the state of nature actually brutish? And is life nasty and short? Secondly, we look at the second approach that says that are human beings naturally good, and it's only the environment that makes them terrible. And basically, when we look at the second approach, we come into solidarity with our brothers in the DRC. So when we look at that approach, we tend to reflect that what is happening in the DRC, is it really caused by the environmental factors, or is it caused by the nature of the human beings? Now, when I reflect in my mind and hope that everyone in this forum will be reflecting today, I'm looking at those two approaches. And I think that the deliberations that will be going on today will focus on those two approaches. But further to those approaches, I also expect our participants to look at the strategies that are put in place in trying to take care of all these particular problems that come. So basically, I'm looking at the issues of adjudication, issues of arbitration, mediation, reconciliation. The video that you are going to watch, or the DVD that you're about to watch right now, will show you some of the atrocities that are being committed in the DRC. And it will be open to you to judge using the theoretical frameworks that I have just mentioned here. I will not take much of the time of the speakers, but I would like to say that I am proud to be here, and I'm very happy to see most of the IR students here, and wish you a happy deliberation.
Sikujua juma kubala Kenya utajua mbalimbali wakati walipita wala soda wa nchi. Walikuwa tu wasoda wakikutana kunyumba, tunaanza funga chakula, sisi tunaenda, wakasema mkaze chini. Tukakamata msifu wakamtia ngao. Ndio wakamtia ngao. Tukapima kulalamika, wakasema tukalalamika tutakuja. Sasa wakakamata hivi. Walikuwa waini kama walikuwa wengi, siwezi jua juu nilikuwa kasa mimi napoteza ufahamu.
Ashamed, the only person Kasoke told of the rape was her husband.
Sasa nifika kunyumba, wanangu wananiambia yote inawezekana kwa Mungu. Tunajaribu, lakini mimi nasikia nakuwa kila kwanza. Kuna sita kufukuza na msika wangu mwenye hata wale wakateli. Kumbe ilikuwa siri. Bibi yangu sisimake maisha ndio tu ya kwanza, hata mimi naruhusiwa. Hata mimi naenda nafasi ya watu bako sisemake juu, sana nalisemake mimi pia.
The Federation of Congolese Abroad is also committed to be involved in the process of the rebirth of the renaissance of the Democratic Republic of Congo by participating actively and providing constructive analysis, ideas, availing social professional capacity we have in diaspora.
With Kabila as president, some critics argue that we did not open up the democratic space. In other words, there was little gain for the ordinary Congolese people under President Kabila.
The first constitution of the Democratic Republic of Congo that was adopted in 1960 at independence recognized all immigrants that were in Congo before 30th of June 1960, before independence. That constitution recognized them as becoming Congolese nationals right after independence. But still, up to date, some folks back home don't seem to understand that it is not that Congolese Tutsi are fighting to acquire that nationality, but they are fighting for the recognition of it because they already acquired it a long time ago.
First of all, youth in Africa have not been empowered. So, unless we are empowered, so we are going to help solve the crisis. Second thing about aid. First of all, aid is dependent on the UN. They are using United Nations pledge, and then they depend on UN financially. So how are they going to achieve their mission in the continent? You find a country like Belgium, it's having Ministry of Diamond. I was watching that documentary. And then Belgium itself is not mining diamond. It's getting this diamond resources from Congo. You see United planes, they come all along from Belgium and France to drop food stuff to Congo. But inside the planes we have like guns. So these guns are given to rebels. When rebels receive these guns, you find around Kivu, North Kivu, and those areas that are infested in Israel, guys are being displaced. And then these guys are using people like from LRA, like Bonnie and the other friends of peace to extract these minerals. Then why are you using United Nations if it's one of the causes of this thing?
Why is it that Congolese people and Africa is looking towards the perpetrators of the problem, the causes of the problem, are the same people that we're looking to ask for solutions? We hail the International Court's decision to persecute people that have perpetrated violence in Congo, when the court ignores to persecute the companies that are making profit out of people's blood in Congo. So are we looking in the wrong direction, or are we really looking for solutions, or are we just entertaining ourselves with ideas that can find a solution from the International Court?
To answer the question as to whether Congo is a state or not, and this is a very sensitive question, I think, especially to Congolese citizens. But my views are this: geographically, and in the UN or in international law, we have an entity of a country called the Democratic Republic of Congo. But there are still questions that arise, and these are not unique to the DRC. You know, most of the territorial regions in Africa were drawn in a very haphazard way by the colonial powers of those days. So if I look at the Congo, I'd probably say that it's a loose structure because the country has not served the citizens as such. So it exists in law, it is recognized by other states, but I think that they need to move forward for it. I mean, this is not about Congo. I'm sure there are people in this country, especially from the north, who refer to going to Kenya when they are crossing over from within their territories, the Turukanas and the likes. So this is a law, it's a wider debate as to whether African states can be described as states in its operational sense. I think that is all I have to say.
Students, Namao Commission, all protocols observed. First of all, I would like to thank all of you who are still here for wasting time and sitting down for a very long period to come and listen to our speakers. I'm sure we can all agree that the knowledge we've gained today is very insightful. And I would like to reiterate the fact that this is a historical event. It's our own university in Kenya that's holding an event in collaboration with the Friends of the Congo, who are the organization that initiated the global student movement. And so we are glad to be part and parcel of this event. I just want to say two key things, which I will call upon Mr. Garant to give a vote of thanks, and we'll call it a day. Firstly, I would like to obviously recognize the presence of our very own Mr. Gideon Minor, who is a lecturer here, as well as welcome and recognize Ambassador Kikaya, who has been very supportive of this whole initiative as far as breaking silence and creating awareness about what's happening in the DRC is concerned. I would also like to bring to your attention Namao. Now, very few people know that Namao is actually an organization that exists in USIU, but it does. Namao stands for the National Model African Union, and it's 2 years old. It was started by a group of noble students who share the vision that we all share today, which is that the issue of Africa has been underreported. It has not given the due respect that it deserves in the international arena. And one of the ways in which we're going to accomplish this and turn this around is for students like you and me to come together and raise our voice. The mission of Namao stands as follows: the realization of African solutions to contemporary African problems, and solutions to challenges posed by globalization in Africa from an African youth perspective. I think youth is the key here, because we all know the saying that the youth are the leaders of tomorrow. And so I think it is our responsibility as young people to carry the mantle, like Mr. Moen was talking about, and move forward and try and change Africa from an African perspective, I think, which is very, very important, because at the end of the day, Africa belongs to us, and we're the ones who live in this continent. And so we have to create a situation where we as the youth are able to be consistent and be able to set the motion rolling as far as living in Africa is concerned. I would also like to bring to your attention the fact that we still have 3 commissions that are up for grabs. Unfortunately, none of these commissions are up for grabs to students in USIU, because we're trying to make an AMAO an all-inclusive organization, which means we're trying to harness the minds of students from other institutions of learning. These commissions involve the Commission of Science and Technology, Agriculture and Rural Economy, and the Commission for Human Resources and Socio-Economic Affairs. So for those of you who know students who are studying in other institutions of learning, please let them know that there is an organization that's vibrant and it's very, very serious about African issues, and that we are willing to accommodate their intake and their say through these 3 commissions. As far as USI is concerned, we do have the Council of Representatives, which is incorporated in our structure, which is mainly composed of 2 members from each university in Kenya. And so we have not yet selected 2 Council of Representatives from the USI chapter. So we'll be taking in any applications for any students who will be willing to become part and parcel of the vision in which Namao is moving towards. I don't want to go too much into details. Everything has been said about the situation in Congo. All I would like to say is that I'm really very grateful for the support that you have shown to the National Model African Union. I think today we have made a statement. We have broken the silence about the situation in the DRC, and we have decided that we're going to do what is in our capacity as youth, as students, with the support and guidance of our lecturers, of our advisors, of people who have gone before us. And we are going to say that enough is enough, and the Congolese brothers and sisters are not alone, and we're here to help them as far as recovering their own country is concerned. I'd also like to touch on one thing that has come across in my experience here in USIU. And it's something that I suffered from for a while, but I kind of got delivered from. And that thing is the inferiority complex that we seem to have about being able to solve our own issues as Africans. And I can give an example. I've always touted the issue of the United States of Africa coming into realization, and I've always it has always been met with opposition for the simple fact that maybe in the academic or in the political discourse, Africans have problems. We can never come together because there are issues in Kenya, there are issues in South Africa, or there are issues in the North. And I agree, we have issues. But one of the things that I've noticed about us is that we seem to dwell more on the negative aspects of who we are than dwelling on the positive, embracing it, embracing our culture, which is one of the strongest attributes we have as far as uniting. Because I'm sure you're all aware and you're all well versed with the Ubuntu philosophy, the Ubuntu culture, which states that Africa will always lived as one. And that is how I approached the issue of the United States of Africa. And the fact that we all know that we're moving into the era of regional integration, and we cannot survive unless we unite. So I've come across this within the student community, and it has perpetuated the notion that Africans were not able to solve our issues, which is far from the truth. I think we are able to solve our issues. I think we have the capability to do that. We only need to have a positive mindset. We need to have the will. And where there's a will, there's always a way. So I'll appeal to you all to have this in mind as we look forward to solving the issues in the Congo and in other areas as far as Africa is concerned. Without wasting any more of your time, I would like to call upon Mr. Garan Dut to come and give a vote of thanks, after which we'll be able to reconvene on this session. Thank you very much.
This is a special day. Especially when we break the silence about Congo. In fact, the media has made us to be blind about the real and the true problems in Africa because of what we usually see on TVs and radios. See immense pictures of hungry people, conflicts and everything, so they've become normal scenes to us that we don't react to them. Africa has been standing in solidarity during its fight against colonialism. But unfortunately today, when there are internal problems, Africa doesn't stand in solidarity with itself. It doesn't embrace itself. Today, Congo is bleeding. And when Congo bleeds, Africa also bleeds. And bleeds to death. Shall we stand and watch our mother, Africa, dies in cold blood? Or shall we do something about that? When the next neighbor of yours has his house on fire, do you stand and watch what is happening to his house? Do you stand and wait until your house gets or catches fire? Or do you run with water and try to assist him to put this fire off? Today, this is a very high time for all of us, especially those who have watched the documentary film and those who have listened to our guest speakers. I think it is a high time for all of us to break the silence about the Congolese crisis and the Congolese tragedy. I think it is the duty of each and every one among us here to go and speak about the problem of Congo. From this particular junction, I would like to register a special vote of thanks to our guest speakers for their thorough deliberations on the problem of Congo. And I would like to thank them for the very immense and valuable information that they've shared with us about the problem in Congo. They've given us all the facts on the ground of what is happening, so none of us will be speculating again on what is the problem, what is happening in Congo. None of us will be passing the back that I didn't know. I don't know anything about what is taking place in Congo, but we'll all be on board. I thank them very much for their patience, their willingness to come and share with us this information. Thanks.
I think I'm Mwemandungo, the author of Healing the Wounds. I've been happy to participate in the conference because it talks about things which are really at heart for me, considering the fact that the people in DRC, whenever they are at peace, I am at peace. When they are at war, I am at war, within myself and outside. So basically I think this conference, we should now move forward, far from the conference and now to the actions, because for me I believe we don't really have to just to say things, we have to work on them. That's why as a Congolese in Kenya, I have started with a group of gentlemen around a project that will help the Kenyans understand why peace is useful for them, because I believe a healed country can help in healing another country. Because from my medical background, only a healed person is able to heal another person. So I think this was a nice conference, and I think USIU should keep it up.
Well, my name is Serge Kalume, third year student at USIU. I'm an IBA student actually, but then I've been very interested in international relations and matters of politics. But then this day has come as an opportunity for me to start my journey in that world. As the Chinese proverb goes, the journey of 1,000 miles starts by one step. And so I'm very happy, I'm very, very excited to be part of this event. And I'm pretty sure that breaking the silence about the Congo conflict, as we've held it today, as it has been held the world over, will not stop from here. My predecessor said that the only difference or demarcation between what you say and the realization of it is action. And so the youth generally in Africa, the Congolese youth, have been challenged today to take action and take their destiny in hand. And I'm very grateful for African youth for their support, and I'm eager to be part of that process that will bring genuine change in Africa. Thank you.
On the issue of Congolese problem being Congolese problem, I think Congolese problem is everybody's problem. If it is true that it is Congolese problem, then all those multinational companies should get out of Congo. All the foreigners who are plundering the resources in Congo should get out of Congo. Then we will truly say that it is a Congolese problem. We all know from colonial history in Kenya, we were assisted by foreign powers to actually create awareness of the problems that we were undergoing. We also know that South Africa did not get its liberation on its own, though they spearheaded it, but many people assisted them to achieve their goal. So we should all be supportive of each other. Let's say that our brothers' problems are our problems.